Lajon?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
What have you been up to during this whole quarantine thing, aside from making some killer music?
Well, thank you. I've been in the house. I've been loving the fact that normally I would be out on the road. It's very unfortunate what's going on. I'm very sad about that. But I've been able to be daddy. We have a new baby in the belly right now, and it's been incredible to be able to not only maintain the main house, but also we have a farmhouse, and to be doing things there. So, and then on top of that, the Sevendust album is getting ready to come out, and I've been also working on my solo stuff. So it's all, it's great.
Very cool. So Blood and Stone slated to come out October the 23rd. Obviously, Sevendust fans are excited about that. And then you guys did this cover song of The Day I Tried to Live from Soundgarden. Was that was there a lot of foresight in that, looking at the anniversary of or the birthday of Chris Cornell and having the release date kind of coincide with that, or was it just serendipitous that it all turned out that way?
Oh my goodness! Wow, what a great question! It was a complete accident. Sevendust were not known for ever really covering songs, maybe two or three in our career. At this point in our career, we were sitting around and said, hey, wouldn't it be fun to put a cover song on this album? We didn't know what we were going to do because, of course, all of us had completely different ideas. I always joke about it, but Morgan even said, like, My Sharona, and I was like, absolutely not. What are you talking about? I don't even know what that means. Anyway, so we went along, and then Elvis Bassett, which is our producer, which I feel like is a member of the band, he came in one evening and brought The Day I Tried to Live, and I was like, wow, any Chris Cornell or Soundgarden song would be incredible. Who do you think's going to sing it? And so it felt like all of a sudden this Sevendust album, had this amazing track that we were going to put on what we thought was our incredible music. For me, it was very hard for 2 weeks to sleep because I felt like, how could I compare? How could I show honor to Chris Cornell's voice? He's incredible. Bless his soul. His voice, his legacy will continue for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. But before we didn't, that wasn't the reason. So I just went into it. Let me tell you, brother, I went into it with just the mindset of, I have to do it the way I do it. I'm just going to put my soul on it and the way I feel about the song, the way the words make me feel. And we're going to do it Sevendust style. And that's what happened. And then, unfortunately, it seemed like the world changed overnight. The pandemic, everything happened, opening our eyes to a lot of things that we didn't see before, but that we kind of knew those underground. And the album had to get pushed back, and we sat and talked collectively as a band and said, you know what, this song, in some kind of crazy way, kind of fits what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. And let's put this out, and let's give not our fans, but our family out there something to get us over the hump until this album comes out, until we get back to some type of safe capacity where we can all be together and start having concerts again, and and loving each other. Because I feel music is a healer, and thank the Lord, whoever you believe in, for radio stations and you guys still playing music and letting us have a voice, and and continuing, because I feel like music is a healer.
Well, I completely agree with you, Lajon. It's Lajon from Sevendust. And, it's almost like you pick the world's most difficult singer to try and emulate with this song here. Did you have a personal relationship at all with Chris Cornell? I mean, everybody's a fan of Chris. I can't think of a single person, whether they're a rock fan or not, that didn't have a fair amount of respect for Chris and his vocal ability. But did you have a relationship with him when he was alive?
I did. I was only able to see him in concert several times.
Okay.
Before we really, got started on, seeing the world and, becoming that rock band. So that I was in close proximity a lot of times, but never got to meet him. So for me, it even made it more enduring, if that makes sense. It made it even more a challenge to make sure I did my best, and I put every ounce of my soul into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you give, some of these bands that were kind of just getting their start? Maybe they, had one single out at radio before COVID hit and shut down the touring industry. And any advice whatsoever? Because the word on the streets is that, some of these bands that were just starting out might not make it through because it's a business ultimately that you have to run. You got to keep money flowing in the door.
How weird of a question that you ask, because no one else has said that to me, and that's something I've been thinking about because of a lot of these bands that I love that are coming up that I got to see before this happened. And I'm wondering, the only vehicle and avenue that they have is social media, which now I have to say a lot of times that social media does a lot more than people think. So I think these bands need to keep hammering and doing what they can. I hope that they made a big enough impression, because I feel like the impression is definitely being seen and touring and having that, that stamp of this is what they're known for. But I feel like these young bands out there, if they've already been seen and they rocked it and they kicked everyone's butt, that they keep that, they keep letting the people remember that, and that they will be out once we can become, once everyone does the right thing in this world to get us back to capacity so we can have concerts. And that's, I think at the end of the day, we all know right from wrong, so we can all get back to that. But for those young bands, man, I would say don't give up, because you have the internet, and look at the internet vehicle. It's amazing right now. I mean, It's been amazing. I'm still old school, but I know I'm not old enough school not to know that the internet is a great vehicle to be seen, to do your videos, to keep the communication going with your fans or your family or whatever you like to call them out there. It's just a great.
Yeah, and I think that as far as radio's play and all that, people have come back to radio in a weird kind of way, to have that familiar voice and some resemblance of normalcy, something that they've grown up on. I think that perhaps, and tell me if I'm way off base here, but I've seen a lot of bands and a lot of record companies and management companies just kind of push the pause button, and I'm almost thinking that maybe that is the completely wrong way to approach this, because there's going to be such an appetite. We will make it through this. There eventually will be a vaccine, and perhaps if a band is smart enough and has been able to virtually release 2-3 amazing songs during all this, the appetite will be that. So when these new bands come out, maybe they can leapfrog and skip the step of having to do the hard grind and play in every little tiny bar and nightclub in the country before going out to play a big festival show. And maybe they can leapfrog that and go right out and play bigger shows than they would have in normal times, right or wrong?
Absolutely. I believe in that. And, man, just to go back to what you said at the beginning with those young bands, not even with the young bands, but us old guys, us old schoolers, it's a business. It's a business. And if you didn't know it before, you definitely know it now, because it's hitting us in a way that it's never hit us before with what's going on. So I completely believe in what you're saying, and I think that it's an opportunity for each of us, all of us, whatever it is that we're doing, once we get back to a state, to get together and not be afraid to play with this guy and this guy, or play with this band because they're too heavy, or, let's do it because it's music and we love it and we need it, and that's what we've been trying to get back to. And who cares? I don't care if it's a guy that's blindfolded with a thong on, tap dancing, opening up for Sevendust. Look. Listen, let me get your T-shirt. I'll rock it when we go on tonight,
Yeah. Well,
I just can't wait.
People are saving some money by not spending the $100 on a concert ticket or a festival ticket and buying the T-shirt and having the beer. So maybe put that money into your favorite band's website and go check out their merch line and merch up, so when everything does return, you'll be fully outfitted. Hey, Sevendust has had such an amazing and long career. What do you guys want to do differently to maybe reinvent or break the mold of the past 20 years of being Sevendust? Or do you just want to continue the momentum?
Oh, no. I wish that definitely that we could, stay on the avenue that we're on, but also just, go down different avenues and make it bigger. Open more minds to what's going on in our community. I don't think, a lot of people say it's metal. I think it's rock and roll, soulful music that we play. And I just hope that it gets bigger. I hope that I feel like with what's going on right now, and I've always said it, with the new album, I feel like it's the beginning again. And I definitely feel like there's a new beginning that can happen for not only Sevendust, but for every band out there and every artist, with what's going on with this pandemic and the craziness in the world. That's opened up our eyes to not only the pandemic, but the equality and what's going on. There's so many new avenues for us all to go down, and just to make it good together. And I really believe in that.
Right on. Lajon from Sevendust, Blood and Stone, coming out October the 23rd. Can't wait to hear it. and hope to see you guys in 2021 and beyond. Best of luck to you and your wife with the new child on the way, man. Congratulations on everything, Lajon. Thanks for the call, bud.
Thank you so much, man. One of the best interviews yet. So God bless you, brother, and I look forward to seeing you and talking to you soon.
Likewise. We'll talk soon. Take care, Ben.
Right on. You too, brother.
Bye.